Hi, I'm finally here in New Orleans. I had a good sleep last night, but I'm still jet lagged. So, for some reason, I woke up at my usual time, up past 6, and had an English breakfast, tea with no milk, just some sugar. Had a shower, walked up the road from where I'm staying. I'm in Domain Street, and went to this cafe called Hello Cafe, I believe. No, Hey Cafe, that's right. It was a really cool joint. Ordered a strong latte that wasn't enough, had an espresso. And here I am, I'm finally awake. I meant to take my laptop, but I was so out of it that I just forgot to put it in my bag. But it's really close, so no issues, no problems. Today, I would like to check in with the conference, but I still have to actually finalize my paper, let's say. I left a lot to the last minute, and leaving Sydney was a real rush as well. I don't mean like just a rush of adrenaline, I mean like an actual rush. I hadn't fully packed until the actual day of leaving, and there were a lot of kinds of travel mishaps. Everything was fine with immigration, just the usual thing with LAX that you're in the line for fucking ever, and they don't prioritize people who have connections. It's a total mess, and I won't say anything more about that. But yeah, like no worries, guys. Just because I'm trans doesn't mean I'm excluded from the United States of America. You know, because my mission here is not just to sort of like turn everyone into trans, like fear of a trans nation. There are already trans people here, but as we speak, of course, people are being stripped of their identities. Um, the worst thing is the kind of overturning of the Gender Recognition Act in the United Kingdom and the definition of a woman according to biological characteristics. We are seeing the continued upswing of fascism through countries that basically have been part of the global hegemon but are in decline. Now, I don't want to say that in a cruel way, because I recognize there are people in the UK and the US who are politically savvy, onto it, and are fighting these tendencies. I wouldn't be in the US if I didn't believe in people here, and it's really lovely to be here. But this is another expression of white supremacy, and people might not get what I mean by that, but it's really about essentialistic notions of womanhood and manhood, which are basically used against people of color as well. That analysis requires a whole lot more detail, but I will link you in to a talk that I gave in India about this, if you're interested. But anyway, like, it's time for me to get on to my other talk. I'm a bit exhausted still, and I've got work to do, like for back in Sydney. I've got to mark student work, and I've got to do a few Zoom classes later on. So that's my Wednesday. But I'm thinking of going to a vegan cafe, maybe in a few hours. That should be nice. Something nice and healthy and wholesome. Last night I actually had some Indian food, so you know me, I gotta have my fix. It was pretty good. Like, I can do better. Okay, this is not a superiority complex, but I cook really good Indian food. Maybe it's because, you know, I've always been around Indian food, and it's something that my mum impressed upon me. My mum is the daughter of an Anglo-Indian, and so we have our own version of cuisine. Those of us in the Anglo-Indian diaspora, basically. Anyway, here's me ranting and so on. It's beautiful to be here. The weather's really fine, and the crows are out and about, and so that much reminds me of being back in India, being in Kolkata. So anyway, just to let you know, I can still cross borders. I've been doing it all my life. I've never always, well, never always. I've never really had an easy time anyway. Like, I've had issues with Homeland Security over the years. I've never exactly known why. But that's for another video. Usually it's involved going to secondary investigations, being detained, not being deported, unlike the people who are being targeted right now. So I don't want to take this, lightly, but I also want us to continue to resist in whatever ways are possible, and to, join our energies. Get out there. Nothing is a fait accompli. Just because things are the way they are right now does not mean that's the way they're supposed to be, as Angela Davis's mother once said to her. So anyway, here's a shout out to you all. If you're in the US, if you're from the US, if you're from other parts of the world, if you're from the UK as well. La resistencia, resistance. Trans people of color, together, si se puede.